What's going on, guys? Carter here with our next sweepstakes rig, this 2023 Toyota Tundra 1794 edition. That is a beautiful gray metallic in chrome from head to toe. If you're older than 65 years old, chances are you absolutely love the chrome, but everyone else, including myself, is not as stoked on it. And I want to do something different that we've never done before in the history of Ford 4x4 and change the color of this Tundra to something that pops. All of our rigs have either been black or gray in the history of Ford 4x4, so it's time for a change, a new platform, the first time we've ever run a Toyota. This is Nick from SD Design. He's wrapped some of our cars before. Nick, what do we got planned for this monster of a rig?
Yeah, so instead of just doing what everybody does, which is just buying a stock color off the shelf, throwing it on, we want to be unique, one of a kind, something no one's ever done before. So we're going to start with a Inozetek Mamba green metallic. We're going to print a fade on it to dark green, and we're going to put satin lamb on it. So it's really going to look completely unique, one-off, and you're never going to see it anywhere else.
So check this out. We got the grill that's going to change out to a TRD Pro grill. The interior on this thing is dialed. We are not touching that. It's a saddle brown leather, 1794, blue accents, accent lights on it. It is sick. We have all of the upgrades that you expect in a Platinum edition of the Tundra. But Nick, how hard is it to wrap all of these little contours and features? Why does it cost so much for a wrap, especially if you're changing the color?
Yeah, so especially with a Inozetek, it's a thicker film, and that's how they get that really deep gloss look to it. It's thicker, so you have that depth in it. So that's hard to work with to begin with. They also won't sell this film unless they approve you as a good shop.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna make it even harder. We're gonna print on it, which is a nightmare, and then we're gonna lamb it. So it's gonna be very thick. And it's going to take probably about twice as long as a normal wrap would take.
Let's check this out. So we have all of these badges, all this chrome here. Does that present an issue? Do we paint that? Do we wrap it? How do we delete all this chrome?
Yeah, so we can put all just gloss black vinyl on this, just to match all this gloss black. It's from the factory. And that's much simpler than the custom Inozetek job we're doing.
Nice. Let's check out that color, because we were looking at samples, and until you actually see the full thing in person, this is nuts. So the first thing that you're gonna notice, or the first thing that I noticed, anytime you have a metallic flake in a wrap, it's gonna be almost like glitter. Like it looks way thicker. This is
more like
emulated.
a boat, like gel coat on a boat than paint in a car.
And this, if you could zoom in there, can you see that? So it's just super fine, looks very much like actual paint. A lot of depth on it. What we mean by that is, it's not like one color. When you turn it at different angles, especially in the sunlight, you're getting almost a little bit of gold and darker on the contours. That's gonna bring all the contours, the beautiful contours on the Tundra to life. And then you said we wanna do a satin cover over the top of it, so that makes it so it's not matte and your fingerprints don't get all over it, but adds that even more depth, that kind of like matte look without all the issues that come with matte.
Exactly.
I think, what have you seen over the past couple of years on wraps, going from everyone wanted to do matte, where are they going now versus straight shiny? Yeah,
so especially, over here, I'm always trying to print things, do things more unique, but this film right here is the best. A lot of the mattes, all the satins, they were popular, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but the glosses weren't good.
Yeah.
Even now, 3M Avery gloss vinyl, a lot of orange peel.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great. This stuff really looks like paint. To me, it's the best in the industry.
I love it. In Inozetek, they've only been around for a couple of years, but you are using them a lot.
I try and sell it to everybody. It's all I put on my cars. It's just the best. It not only is the best finish, but it holds up the best as well.
So we talked about this a little bit. You mentioned it, but can you get into more detail, printing on this? So you could theoretically print designs on it. You could print anything you want, and that's pretty unique, right?
Yeah, so I won't get into too much of how we do it. Because it took us 12 months to really perfect it. Yeah, honestly. And so I've had salespeople who try and sell it, and people want to know how we do it. I won't tell my salespeople how we do it.
Yeah.
So I'm really the only one here that knows how it works.
Southern California, you got to look them up. sddesign.com.
Yes, sddesignhouse.com.
sddesignhouse.com. Check them out in San Diego, or if you're either in Southern California, you got to take a look at it, because the idea that I had, if we can print on it, I love that color, but it would be really sick if we started out, super bright and green on the front, and then almost start getting darker and darker. So now you have this two-tone look going across the entire length of the vehicle. It's gonna absolutely pop and shine, get rid of all that chrome, and now we have a really modern, sleek looking car that's super unique. I'm stoked on it.
Yeah, it's truly gonna be one of a kind that nobody else can replicate. So that's like the best part to me.
That's awesome. All right, dude, what's the first step? You gotta take this thing apart and then put it back together?
Yeah, I gotta tear the whole thing apart, get the vinyl ready to print on, and start going.
I like it. How long does it normally take?
The whole process will take about 2 weeks from today, just because we gotta set up all the print files, tear the truck apart, deep clean the whole thing, and then lay it, do the gloss black. It's a lot of work.
How does it work when you have a car that's maybe like 4 or 5 years old? This thing is less than 1,000 miles. We just bought it. It had 100 miles when we got it. Paint on it looks really pristine still, but if you have a car that's like 5,000 to 10,000 miles, what do you have to do? You have to paint correct it? How do you like get that?
It depends, you know, every car is different. Typically if a car is 5 to 10 years old, most time it's in pretty good shape because people that are bringing us their cars are car people. So they take care of them really well. I don't really see too many cars that are like hammered, but yeah, the better the paint is, the better the wrap's gonna look.
Yeah. So for my off-roader enthusiasts out there, how is this gonna hold up to off-roading? Obviously, you're protecting the paint with it, and if you bang up one of the quarter panels or something, is it pretty easy to swap it back out, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty easy to swap out, but because it's so many layers, it's not quite as thick as like a PPF you'd see, but it's getting close. Because this is the thickest vinyl, and then we're putting ink on top of that, and I use a lot of ink just to make it look good, and then it has laminate on top of that. So any scratches you're gonna get off-roading, not gonna damage the paint. Typically, like any hits you're gonna take, if you were to like damage it, probably won't damage the paint, so you can just do like a paintless dent repair on it instead of doing a full repaint of the panel, which is obviously very expensive.
That's great. And then how long is this going to last when it's on there?
This should last for 5 years if taken care of properly. It just kind of depends, again, like everything, how well you maintain it. Keeping it hydrated and not dirty is the best thing you can do.
Perfect. And what we're also going to do after this is on is go over to Elite Finish. Our friends over there put a ceramic coat on it as well, which is going to add another layer of protection.
That's the best too, because something you see with these is if people don't wash their cars and then you get dirt on it and it bakes in the sun, it really bakes that dirt in. But when you have that ceramic coating on there, it's much easier to take care of. The dirt just comes off.
This is sweet. This is the first step of a long build process, and I'm glad that we have you on board for it, man. I can't wait to see it. I think we need to cut to a install montage. Ready, set, go. The Tundra is back from wrap, and it looks absolutely insane. The Mamba green could have been wrapped on this entire vehicle, and I think it would have looked fantastic, but fading to the forest green gives it a two-tone look that just honestly, I am absolutely in love with. If you want to see us wrap more vehicles, leave a comment below and let me know. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. We have some awesome build videos coming out on this Tundra that I think you're going to enjoy. Shout out to SD Design out of San Diego. They did a phenomenal job on this wrap. There was a ton of labor to get this thing looking the way that it does, and I think it was worth every penny. In the meantime, go to forge4x4.com to get your entries to win this truck, because in a couple months, one of you is going to be walking away with the keys plus $15,000 in cash. Our 12th vehicle is live. You can only win it at forge4x4.com.